This is WWE superstar Isaiah Swerve Scott.
What up, guys? My name's Alex. I'm a content creator here at Swerve City Podcast.
Mike the GOAT in the building. Motion graphics designer, video producer here for the podcast.
It is Sai here. I am the director here at the Swerve City Podcast.
What is good, everybody? This is your man, TZ Scott. I am the co-host, hip-hop artist of the Swerve City Podcast. What's the announcement, big bro?
Man, we are here to make the big announcement that the Swerve City Podcast, that means all of us, are moving on and upgrading to the WWE Network, y'all. And if you don't know what that means we got bigger and newer guests coming, new location, and a bigger budget, y'all. But that doesn't mean you stop subscribing to youtube.com/Swerve City Podcast for newer and more unique content. And as always, be confident in everything you do.
Wash your hands.
Better do your homework.
The Swerve City Podcast moves to its new home Friday, October 23rd, streaming only on WWE Network.
Instead of trying to play the game, I'ma demolish it till my name at the top of list. Proper strongholds like Broderick, quality. Spinning shit harder than Shabbat kids. On my album, brewed up into a ottoman. Lyrical displays on the radio, I just gotta flip. Break, jumping through the stereo. Back like it was nothing, now they bumping down the stereo. Here we go. I'm getting action, so the cash growing. No cat catch me rapping with the mask showing. Pull that Naomi up, the cash glowing. I'm trying to rise till I still ain't made a glass broken. I only had them half open off the cash flow, and now I'm 450 splash coated at the mask open. And I'm the dopest. Turn Ray to a the big dive head first. Toe base suicide, I don't play with the recorders. This more than what you shooting for. Ring load, I'm a spring ball like a Luchador. Utilizing cruiserweight maneuvers when producer scores. Her car around the word to mama, I'm a booster score. So I'm the ruler. Ain't nothing they can do but all A-lines going overhead like a ship. Mama, they say I ain't ever play. Since some years old, but it wasn't for a vacay. Do it for the love, I ain't spend for a payday. Turned into a legend over flipping like a break. I'ma do it like a break. Off the board of competition, got them yelling Mayday. Knowing any niggas, I'ma break them in the Mayday. Rated AD, had to hit them with the break. Break. Jumping through the stereo. Back like it was nothing, now they bumping down the stereo. There we go. Came back and I'm racking up hella digits. Target practice on the track, I'm subtracting them in their living. No cap, all fat, controlling them with the pivot. Packing up the Dutches and rolling vanilla niggas. Stay lifted, prolific with lyrics, the skills accurate. Build immaculate, how I'm killing it, build mastery. Bandwagon strong and filled with real passengers. Feeling till I'm hitting the mill, I'm still after it. Stereo my state, I had to grab the mask for this. Hitting like it's 52nd album, missing massacre. Any season I could bring a Halloween havoc. I ain't nothing like you rappers with a drama queen. You habits don't need a team. Y'all do struggle to seem average. If you ever saw me in the booth, you see me. My mama, they say I ain't ever play. Since I'm years old, but it wasn't for a vacay. Do it for the love, I ain't spent for a payday. Turned into a legend over flipping like a break. I'ma do it like a break. Out the for the competition, got them yelling Mayday. Throwing haymakers, I'ma break them in the Mayday. Rated AD, had to hit them with the rate. Never mind what they say, I ain't ever play. Since I'm years old, but it wasn't for a vacay. Do it for the love, I ain't spent for a payday. Turned into a legend over flipping like a break. I'ma do it like a break. Out the for the competition, got them yelling Mayday. Throwing haymakers, I'ma break them in the Mayday. Rated AD, had to hit them with the rate.
Raiden, how do you feel, sir?
I'm feeling good, man. This mask is restricting my breathing a bit, but alright. Like we said last time, it's for the art, man.
It's for the art. It's for the art.
It's for the art.
That is. We sacrifice getting chased by bees and shit for the art.
Whatever it takes.
For the art.
Whatever it takes.
Are you?
Oh, I'm here. Had to correct some stuff. I was about to play another video. Need to change my settings. Yes, I'm back with another episode of the William Green Experience right here on YouTube. And that song you just heard was a song called wow, I had the song I just had the song. Excuse me. How I forget the name of the song. My bad, bro. Check out that video for my boy Rated R. I just forgot the name of the song right quick. Wow. That was bad. Happy election day. Happy election day. If you registered to vote, go out and vote. I don't care who you vote for, as long as you vote. This doesn't apply. What I'm about to say doesn't apply to people who are not into politics, because some people just do not care about politics. They don't care about anything that's related to politics, so they're not going to vote. But for the people that talks politics, who says that they will not vote, I don't want to hear you bitch if one of these presidents don't do what you want them to do. I don't want to hear you bitch. You can't bitch because you didn't vote. You don't get the bitch. You don't go on social media and bitch. You don't go to your friends and bitch. You don't go to your parents and bitch. And you damn sure ain't gonna come to me and bitch if one of these presidents don't do what you want them to do. So I don't want to hear you do anything because you didn't vote. You had the opportunity to get one of them in or one of them out, and you didn't do it. So that's your bad. Shout out to Mr. Roses. I was supposed to have him here on Friday. He did a no call, no show. So you blow. Don't ever ask me to come on my show again, because you're not coming on here. So that's it. You'll never come on the show. So don't ever ask me again. And I know what you told me, but you could have told me, bruh. You could have told me before that. So don't ever ask me again. You'll never come on the show. And don't ever ask me to shoot videos for you because I told you time and time again I'm not a videographer. So that's on you. But the person I'm gonna have on tonight is somebody who I actually met at Rated R studio session. They was laying down a track together. I believe he did the hook, but I like his vocals on the song. She was lit. So then I asked him to send me some of his music. I was listening to the shit. It's dope as fuck. He sounds like a 20-year vet. That's how you know people who rap like that. They're rapping with a chip on their shoulder because somebody told them that they wasn't good enough. So it's like when you go in the booth, like he told me before we went on the air, say it with your chest. But I'm gonna bring on my boy, big homie Nerdy Derdy. What's good, bro? How you doing
What's up,
tonight?
man? It's NE to the RD, Nerdy Derdy. What's going on?
I'm chilling. First of all, how did you get that? Like, how did you come up with that name? That name is dope as fuck.
Nerdy Derdy. It was a Facebook post where I was describing myself in 4 words, and it was nerdy,
Okay.
dirty. Well, these parts are now removed, but it was the F word and love.
Okay. Yeah, so that's an awesome concept. I like it though. It came like it rhymes. Like nerdy dirty.
Mm,
So it's awesome as hell. Like
yeah. Now,
yeah.
no, now it's just nerdy is just being passionate about something, and dirty is just putting the work in.
Yeah. I like it. I love it. Like that's
Thank you.
exactly what it should be. Because you gotta get dirty. You gotta put like in order for you to put the work in, you gotta get dirty. You gotta get your clothes
Yep.
dirty and all that stuff. And I feel like that's what lot of people today don't want to do. They just want to rely on their friends or family members to try to get them or help them out with something that they don't want to put the work in. And then when it comes
That's
time
right.
for them to do it alone, they're so out of everybody's element that it's noticeable, and they end up looking like frauds. Like I can't
You got to
stand
get
that.
aggravated.
Say again? Sorry,
You got
I
to get
couldn't quite hear
aggravated
you.
to the point where you just go and do something.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, like I can't stand people who have like work ethic, but they want to put. They in fact, did you ever have anybody that try to do that with you? Like
What?
you have like have you ever had any friends that that are less talented than you and whatever, and they saw that you put the groundwork in, or they said some shit like, "Oh, you may as well not try," but when you made it somewhere, they want you to put them on to something that you're doing. You have friends? You ever had any friends like that? 'Cause I know I have.
Eh, it's more like I always tried to bring people up anyway. Whenever I went to the studio,
Yeah.
I always brought people with me and tried to introduce them to everybody.
Yeah.
So Rated R was actually the first studio time I've ever had where I didn't pay for it.
Okay.
And that was the first time I was ever invited to be a part of someone else's studio time. So what I'm trying to say is that I would try to just bring people in and put them on to connect them to whatever I was doing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That I like the yeah. That's actually good. That's how it should be done. That's exactly how it should be done. But I noticed a lot of you have like Rated R alluded to that too. Well actually he didn't never allude to it. He actually said it flat out. Snakes. He's talking about snakes. There's a lot of snakes in like especially the music industry, any industry like that comes to like entertainment or setting the bar for something. You have a lot of snakes. They'll have even when I do with photography, I've met some people that I've taken pictures for. And then after I'd given the pictures, and these are people that I was actually close to. I built a rapport with them. I did shoots for them. And then next thing you know, when they got invited to like, other stuff, like open mics and stuff like that, because I talk like them too. I just don't like spit a bunch of poetry, but if it's an open mic, you could have invited me to it. It's like they
Yeah.
want to forget that they ever knew you and stuff like that. And that's
Yeah, I get
and that's the
excluded
problem
from
too.
a lot of things.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, like my brother has a record label, independent, full time boss records. He has a couple artists. I get excluded from certain things because of my lifestyle, though. I'm not, I don't really, I'm not a drug user. I don't care if you do or don't. I personally am not. I have kids. My time frame of the day is more structured, so I
Yes.
can't be hanging out somewhere till 3 o'clock in the morning or being around a whole bunch of, activity that's out of my element right now.
Right.
So they kind of do it. It's really like I just won't. Not that I won't fit, but they say they exclude me because they want to keep me out of that element.
And what element is that? Like the dark side element?
Like a street element. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
the
You know what I'm
street
talking
element.
about.
Yeah, I call that the dark side. Because I honestly speaking, like when you live in the hood, there's two sides. There's like I believe there's both I believe there's good people on both sides. But
Yeah.
you choose the dark side, you choose the light side. I was excluded from a lot of stuff too because of that too. Um I'm not the person to stay up all night and hang out all types of times in the morning. I do sometimes, but not all the time. I'll do it on occasions when I'm with my friends and stuff. But as far as the people that lived in the hood, they'll never like my younger brother. He lived that lifestyle. He was a street dude. There's a lot of stuff that he would exclude me from. As like being a kid, I didn't quite understand why I'll be excluded. But looking back at it, you're like, "Hmm, maybe there's a reason why he kept you away from that because he didn't want you to get hurt." So
Yeah,
I
of
kind of
course.
see, yeah. So I kind of see both sides of that coin in regards to that.
Yeah, I do too. I mean,
Yeah.
people will use you for as much as they can to give it. They try to instead of having a relationship where it's just give and take. And this is going back
Uh-huh.
to the other question you had.
Yeah.
They'll just be like, okay, what can I take from this person and make it my own, and try to just like benefit off it. You know what I mean? Instead of, but it doesn't. Even if they do that, it's never gonna work because it wasn't organic and original from that person.
You're right. People can tell what's organic and um what's the other word I'm looking for? Generic and what's
Yeah.
generic. People will know because they're gonna look at that person because looks matter when it comes to a lot of things, especially that. Even though not in all instances, but they're gonna be like, wait a minute. They're gonna look at him. They're gonna be like, who did they steal this from?
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, like they're gonna be like, yeah, I see right through that. We see how stop yeah, like you fugazi style. Like that's why believe in people being themselves as artists.
Yeah.
Like Logic. People who criticize him. I go on Facebook. I see somebody posting they sharing Logic finding a rare Pokemon card, and this dude over here ragging on him talking about he's a he's a pathetic lame. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly what was said verbatim, but he called that grown ass man a pathetic lame. And I'm like, the fu-? I'm like, how is he pathetic lame? Because
That's
he's
why you
being
can't share nothing with people. Here's
you
the
know
wrong people watching this stuff.
yeah. I'm like, I'm like, I just saw that and my IQ went down because I'm like, that makes no sense. Like, you as a grown ass man, you really care that much about another man that you willing to call him a pathetic lame because he likes Pokemon cards? Like, dude, not everybody wants to sniff blow off a stripper's ass. Not everybody wants to do that. So I don't understand why he gets flack or people like him get flack because I'm gonna tell you right now, I am a nerd. I'm a nerd. I consider myself a nerd. I consider myself more of a sports nerd because see, make sure you check that. Make sure y'all get that. I'm gonna have you plug in that in a few minutes. But yeah, like I'm a nerd. I consider myself more of a sports nerd because I geek out when it comes to sports. Like I know, like especially NFL. I'll know what network they on, who's calling the games. I'm into it just like that. Same with baseball games. Because I'm not really into anime like that. It was never really my thing. But I like watching cartoons and stuff. So
What cartoons you like?
Oh wow. I like the classic ones from Hanna-Barbera. Scooby-Doo, the Flintstones, Jetsons, Spider-Man, Nicktoons. Oh my God.
Which Spider-Man?
Which one?
Like the old one with Spider-Man.
The old one. The old one, yeah. The one that used to come on Fox back in the 90s.
Oh, yeah. That's the best one.
Yes. I love that one. I used to sit home. I used to come home from school as a kid. I used to be in front of the TV glued.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was classic. You see how this is the stuff that I like. It doesn't have to be all this violent and all this dumb shit that they see. So I just don't understand why people like Logic or people like us get criticized by people for just being ourselves. Like talking about, oh, you lame. To who? Lame to who?
It's
who
all
are we lame to?
opinion. It's all opinion.
It is. Yeah. Just like just like anything that's entertainment is subjective.
Yeah.
Everybody has opinions about somebody or something. Not everybody has to like the same thing. And just because I don't like what you like, I'm not gonna call you a pathetic lame. Unless you like pedophilia, then that makes you just sick. But
a lot of times I just figure they're just not in a happy place. So they're looking for any outlet to plug in their, you know what I mean? Plug in their hate. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, before we continue, plug in your merchandise right quick or wherever you want people to know about you and stuff.
Well, I take orders in the DMs. I have hoodies, t-shirts, nerdy dirty. Like we said earlier, nerdy is for just, the passion about something, and dirty is just getting it done. And you don't have to be a nerd to wear it. I've gotten that a lot. You could just put on the hoodie, just rock it like you rock everything else. I actually get tremendous support. I appreciate everybody who's purchased my stuff, t-shirts, and just all of that. It's just, it's amazing. It's amazing. And see, Nerdy Dirty also, it's not just recording music. It's my name, but it's more of just like a brand. So it goes into the music, into, art. I ink, this is all in-house. You know what I mean? The hoodies, and then, income, we can switch them up. Everything's almost like, it's almost like custom. Everything almost becomes a one-of-a-kind piece, because even if I do the exact same thing to two hoodies or two shirts, it might not always be the exact same way. Everything's just done by my eye. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand. Yeah, so make sure you go cop Nerdy Dirty merchandise. Listen to his stuff. His stuff is good. Stuff is awesome, actually. Later on in the show, we're gonna probably I'm gonna probably play one of your tracks. I just have to. It's gonna take me a little while to find it through the links. You have to send me the links, so I'll play it on my speakers so everybody can hear it. Because usually what I like to do is if you got a YouTube, I would have put it on the screen so everybody can actually have a visual. Because honestly speaking, it's like, would you agree that everything is going visual now, as opposed to as audio and stuff like that, as opposed to audio?
100%. I have I've shot one video for the song Pianos. There's another video I shot that isn't released yet. But yeah, everyone wants audio. I mean, visuals with the audio. Like, it's almost, unless you're getting radio play, or unless you can't afford the video to be made, there's no point to even like you could put it out, but everyone, I would lead with the video. You know what I'm saying? I would even, the next batch of music I make, I'm going to do a combination between merch and music and release it as a combo. You know what I mean? Because everything's so visual, everything's so, everything's on your screen and on your phone. It has to be visuals.
Yes. Yeah, because everybody wants visual. Like, that's why I actually came out doing this. Because you asked me before we got on the air, how long I've been doing this. I've been doing this since 2013, so 7 years, and I've been doing mostly audio. I started on Blog Talk Radio. Then in 2018, I transitioned to the Spreaker, and then I went from Spreaker to I was recording on there. I was just pulling out the audio, and I was pulling them out in bunches too. But I noticed that everybody is doing, streaming online. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta get with the program. So that's how I got all this. Because
yeah, that's a big edge. That's a big edge with people that aren't jumping on it fast enough. Huge. Yeah. I actually went as far as to buy I have what is it? Final Cut Pro. I have a Mac. I have a what is it? I have a Nikon. But my problem is I can't be in front of the camera and behind the camera at the same time.
No, that's impossible.
So I learned how to edit. Not amazing. I'm decent. I got the camera, I got the equipment, but I don't have a decent person behind the actual camera to put. So it's all a work in process. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's all a work in process.
Yeah, because you have to find somebody that knows, like, at least what they're like, at least a little bit of what they're trying to do behind the camera. Because I'm a photographer. Yeah. I started that in 2013 also, and it took me, 2013 to 20. It took me 4 years to start editing photos, because I would just shoot because I got my own camera in 2016. And I used to just shoot and use the raw photos. Now, people said they liked them, but my boy Keith White, shout out to him, he told me that I should start editing. So I listened. I listened to him and I did it. Like, that's what, that's constructive criticism. Because I feel that people mistake that for hating. Like, would you agree to that?
It gets mixed up, definitely, but I think that if someone's telling you something because they see the potential you have in it, it's different from someone just telling you something that they have no idea about and they're just trying to put you into a cookie cutter, mix.
Right. What's the constructive criticism that you've gotten that made you better, that you feel made you better?
Honestly, most of it's been with my clothing. I didn't want to do hoodies. People were like, yo, a hoodie be dope. Give me a hoodie. So then I started making hoodies. And I started doing, I want something on the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want something like down the sleeve. And I'd be like, no. Like, I'm fine with what I'm doing. Like, this is working. But then as you grow, like, you just grow into it. You know what I'm saying? And it just like, that was easy anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a natural order of things.
Right.
Now, good.
Oh, I was going to ask something, but it slipped my mind. But I actually like that method. Like, yeah, because a lot of people, when you do grow, or you done a certain way and it grows and people think they know what they're doing with your stuff. They think they have the same vision as you. So they'll say stuff like, "Oh, if you did it this way, it'll be better." But you've been doing it this way for as long as you've been doing it, and it's working. So why would I need to change anything about it? It's like those
I
are the
mean,
ones
well,
I guess. Go ahead.
sometimes they're giving you advice. They're giving you sound advice that it would be more beneficial.
Yeah.
But sometimes it takes us as the creator a little bit of time to catch up in our own minds, to get up to speed, and then realize, you know what I'm saying, or be prepared for what they're actually, saying be a good idea, bad idea. You can agree, but still just not be at that level yet.
Yeah, I get what you're saying too, because I've been told to do this for a while. Like start like going on YouTube. That's sound advice, but I just couldn't do it at the time that they probably wanted me to do it because I didn't
Yeah.
have the proper equipment. Because part of going on video is the quality of the video. If it looks like a VHS tape from the early '90s or the late '80s or something like that, they're not gonna watch it. They're not
Yeah.
gonna watch your video, bruh. So you have to make it look the part. Like that's the type of advice that I would get too. So it's that and a little bit of what I like touched on earlier about people who just want to criticize. What you like that part right there, I get exactly what you're saying. Like that's the type of criticism that I listen to also. I try to listen to it all, but some of it I dismiss depends on how it comes off. If it comes off like the person is trying to put me down, then I most likely won't listen to that because I'm going to think they're being an ass
I mean, I'm
about it.
fighting the stigma. I'm fighting the stigma of nerdy anyway. No one wants to be called. No one used to want to be called nerdy. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta break it down to them. I gotta explain it to them. I gotta give them the whole spiel. And plus I have. See what it is too. I have social proof. You can go on my Instagram or wherever, and you can see a wall full of people who have bought into the Nerdy Derdy brand. You understand what I'm saying? So I got the pianos video. I have music. Oh, you want a hoodie that's lavender? All right, look, give me a week or two. I'll get it right. I'll get whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's just you gotta put the work in. You gotta have the social proof. You have to be able to put yourself out there for someone to back you up.
You're right. Oh yeah, speaking of Nerdy Dirty and to see actually what he's talking about, follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Nerdy Dirty. If you're watching on YouTube or on my Facebook Live, you see it scrolling across the screen right on the bottom of your screen. So
Yeah,
follow him.
I got Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter. My Instagram is most active though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, mine too. My biggest audience is on Instagram.
Yeah, rated is he's a monster on Twitter, but my Twitter is just it's like a disconnect.
Yeah, Twitter is like one of those places where you really need to stand out or have some or be on somebody's show or whatever to get followers on there.
Yeah.
So it's like on Instagram, it's been easy for me to do that because back to what we said earlier, visuals.
Yeah.
That's why you're easy. That's why we're easy to get stuff on IG because it's all visual. You're not putting out any like you're not putting out just audio. Like there's a visual to it. There's pictures. There's video. So that's why your stuff is active. You're able to show your stuff on there rather than you don't have to write it. It sells itself. Just like Pod, it sells itself. You don't really have to do that much. You could tell them to DM you to buy it, and they're definitely gonna DM you because the proof was right there because of the people who wore it.
Another thing is too, you gotta wear it. Like you can't catch me without dirty clothes on. If I don't wear it, who else gonna wear it, right?
And
you know what I'm saying?
in fact, when we met, he was wearing it.
You gotta, what are you talking about? And then like 90, my wife gets mad because everything I wear is dirty. Like,
why?
It's because she, I don't know. She's a very visual, it have to be a special occasion for me to put something on that's not dirty,
Yeah.
But if I say I have something and I'm not wearing it, why would you wear it?
Exactly.
On my own billboard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the same thing with my shirt. I released a shirt earlier this year. It was a shirt that reads I forget. Wow. I'm stoned. I'm stoned. Oh, no racist formed against me shall prosper.
Okay, I like that.
Yes, I sold a bunch of those T-shirts earlier this year, and I wore it a bunch of times. So, in fact, when I met Rated R when he did the video, I was in the video with the shirt on.
Well, when you handed him the bag?
Yeah, that scene of me handing him the bag, I was wearing the shirt.
I didn't even notice that. I gotta watch it again.
Yeah, I was wearing the shirt. You probably won't be able to see it because of the shot. It was a side shot. Like it just showed me. It just showed me from my right side, me handling the bag and walking away. Yeah. Shout out to Rated R for putting me in that video on short notice because it was supposed to be somebody else that was doing it, but I think he didn't show up for whatever reason. So at the last minute, he told me to do that. I didn't expect to do it. I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous as shit, but he just told me to be myself. So
yeah, it translates well.
Yeah, be yourself. In fact, before we get into you a little bit more, how did you meet Rated R?
Twitter.
Y'all work together?
No, Twitter.
Oh, Twitter. Oh, okay. It sounded like you said work. My bad. Twitter. Okay.
No. Twitter. We when I first really started getting on Twitter, I don't even remember how exactly I came across, but we were supposed to do a song in like 2016. It did not work out correctly, so then like we've always kept in contact, I guess, through social media or whatnot. And then when he came back and he's like, hey, how good are you with recording right now? And I was like, well, it's gonna take me some time because I don't have a studio in my house as of yet. And he's like, well, I'm doing a session if you want to come by. You know what I'm saying? You can do the hook. I was like, all right, and that was it.
Oh, okay.
That was my first time actually meeting.
Meeting over there in the studio?
Meeting him, period, yeah.
Oh wow. I just met him like the day we shot that video was the same day I met him.
Yeah.
That was the same day I met him. He was a cool dude.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a time to really sit down and talk wrestling with him though. Yeah,
that'd be an awesome talk. Yeah, like even though like I consider him to be a big bro on some real shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even though we disagreed on the whole T.I. versus Buster thing and whether or not it should happen, even though we disagreed on that, because
who you for, Buster or T.I.?
Say again?
Who are you going for?
For Buster, if it was to happen. That's why I said that T.I. copped out. It was that whole statement was a cop out. Now to clear something up, because we had this debate after you left. Because somebody else is there, he told me that I'm not bringing in facts. The fact is, we was both arguing about T.I.'s opinion. His opinion was that Buster should face somebody that was in the 90s era. You see, I can agree to that. Oh, no, wait. It gets better, though. You see, I can agree to that if he didn't call out 50 Cent, Tony Ye and offer Tony Yayo and Lloyd Banks and Eminem to join it too. So he was big enough to call out two people. No, three people actually. Let me see. 50 Cent. Three people, yeah, three people. So then when it comes to Busta, after 50 Cent declines you, you're gonna talk about errors. You was willing to jump on with Eminem. Well, you was able to. You wanted to have Eminem or whoever join in. Now I'm focused on Eminem right now because what he said was right. He made the excuse about errors, and Busta Rhymes. You know he's been rapping since the late '80s. So was Eminem.
Yeah.
You included him in that equation because you think that your singles are better than his. That's what it comes down to. You don't challenge nobody if you think that you're not going to win or overcome whatever challenge that is. You're not going to call them out if that's the case. Like I can tell you something. Like I've been studying mental health, and nobody calls out somebody unless they, if they don't believe they're going to win.
At least they got a shot. Yeah.
Exactly. So he believes that he has no shot to win. So that's why he came up with this poppycock story. So at the end of the day, bro, I didn't have to bring in any facts because at the end of the day, the person that I'm arguing the person's opinion at the end of the day, and that's T.I.'s. But Busta has a different claim. Busta believes that it doesn't matter. Like actually, in fact, as an artist, what do you think about that? Do you think that T.I. was being a punk and not you think he wanted to smoke, or do you think that he has a little point there?
I think that Busta's top of his work was early to late 90s, early 2000s, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I believe that in the versus battles, you can use anything, any of your material.
Yes.
Features, doesn't matter. That alone, Buster can go against Buster for a whole hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, T.I. can't, what's he going to do about it? T.I., in my opinion, only had one album I could listen to front to back.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my
Which
opinion.
album was that? Which was that? Which album was that?
King album.
Okay. All right.
I like Rubber Band Man. I forget what album that is, but I like that album, and I like the Urban Legend album back then. But I can't listen to the whole thing right now. Straight through. You know what I mean?
I feel you. Yeah.
So I like T.I. as an artist, but I don't think he's aging well in the social media era where, you know, everything gets caught. You know what I mean? Everything gets caught and everyone hears everything you're saying. And he's kind of weird. He's backstepping. He's going like, you know what I mean? You can't challenge Eminem and then now go against Busta.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go back to what I'm gonna reiterate. He didn't directly challenge Eminem, but he mentioned him in that equation. So you can't. No, I'm just letting the listeners know so I can clear that up. I just wanted to listen to remember that he didn't directly challenge Eminem. He challenged 50 Cent, but told him that he can include Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, which is G-Unit, of course, and Eminem. So Eminem has been rapping the same time as Busta. They just rap a year apart. They're the same age.
I will say that Busta Rhymes, you know, he got the new album that just came out, right?
Yeah, I gotta hear it.
I get tired of his rapping.
Huh?
Like in general, I get tired of his rapping because he'll rap real elaborately, but I'm a punchlines fan. I like stories, I like beats, I like punchlines. So Busta Rhymes will rhyme a lot about stuff, but it really don't say nothing sometimes.
You know what? I actually agree to that. Actually, like we're listening because he just rhymes, but he don't really tell a story. He just
Yeah.
talk. He just talks about something in particular,
Yeah.
and he has a dope. He has an awesome beat when he does it. Like I think my favorite song from Busta is "Get Out" and "Give Me Some More." I think those are my top two.
I like Touch It. Touch It was awesome. Touch it, bring it, watch it, turn it. The
Yeah, I love
remix is
Touch.
incredible.
Oh yeah,
You got
I I believe
Pascal
X had the best
Valle.
verse in that remix.
Who?
I think X had the best verse in that remix.
Papoose was good.
I like Pap. I like
Papoose
Pap.
was superb. I mean, I like Lloyd. I like the whole song. The whole song was good.
Yeah,
That was a
and
clean
Mary
song.
J.
But I think that
Mary J was on there too.
yeah.
Yeah, I like
Ooh,
people.
there was a woman on there. Who was that? Missy Elliott?
That was Mary J. Mary J. Blige.
J.
Yeah, Mary J.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Busta Rhymes has way too many hits, and T.I., even if he pulled out his best stuff, he wasn't gonna be able to keep up. He doesn't have enough, as they say, skin in the game, and that's crazy because T.I.'s been around forever.
Yeah, and that's exactly what, and he knew that would happen. That's why he did. That's why he said what he said. You see, I read like what I do is I read between the lines, and then I had to look. I had to look up some of this stuff too, because I was just like at the end of the day, I was just arguing his point, his opinion, because at the end of the day, music is subjective anyway.
Yeah.
Like people might think that Jay-Z's trash. They might think that somebody like Lil, who got this name of this dude? Yo, Young Thug. Yeah, that's the person. Yeah. People might think Young Thug is better than Jay-Z. I don't think so, but some
You know who I like?
some youngin might.
How do you feel about Lil Dicky?
I love that dude. I fucks with him. I remember the first song I heard from him back in 2013. I think it was Ex-Girlfriend or something like that. Huh?
I said he's a good entertainer. I enjoy him.
Yeah. He's somebody that I can listen to for a laugh. And he's just being himself while he's doing it.
But he's removed from hip hop. He's sub-compartmentalized. You know what I'm saying? He's rapper, he's a hip hop, and he raps, he raps, but he's still that's it. You know what I mean?
Oh, you think okay, so you don't think he's hip hop.
He is. I don't
He
think
is?
hip hop
That's what
thinks he's hip hop.
Oh, okay. I couldn't quite follow because of the audio. Yeah, I kind of get that from people too. I get that vibe from people. They don't accept him as a hip hop artist, even though he is. He reps the culture and all that stuff, but they don't accept his type of music as hip hop.
And I'm not saying but that's the same thing that people were saying about me and my music. Like, they'd be like, "Oh, what kind of music do you do?" I write and I record. What do you do?
Yeah,
I rap. I mean, I love auto-tune. Why? Beyonce uses auto-tune. Why am I too good to use auto-tune? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like whatever you can do, and it goes back to the music too. Get yourself, shout out to producer MC Matt Cody, Wave Cave. Get yourself the best engineer you can surround yourself with. Because my vocals can sound excellent, but they can make it sound like a diamond. Or he or she or whoever. You know what I mean? Engineers are so underappreciated.
In fact, to educate my audience who may not know about the technical side of music, tell them what an engineer is.
Engineer is the person that's going to mix it up. If you have a good engineer, he'll say, okay, say it like this. Or that's going on for too long, break it up, or like make it sound a little different. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of the way that I record, the say it with your chest came from him. And a lot of the how I break my songs down and how I've done that, it's a lot of it is just experience with a good engineer. They're the ones on the boards, you know what I'm saying? Like, those cool commercials with all the stuff going on, that's the engineer.
Oh, okay. You see, you learn something new every day. Like, yeah, I
Yeah, because
believe that.
a producer is anyone that produces. I produce clothing, I produce, my lyrics. Now, the producer can be the person who produces the beat, the other half of the song. The producer is also like whoever is helping produce the song or the whatever. Those are the producers. So it's a bigger role though. Engineer, a producer, engineer, all that stuff. It's a huge role. I don't care who you are. If you don't have a decent and at least a decent engineer, you're not gonna sound well.
Yeah, because how it sounds is how people going to listen to it. Like the vocals got to be right. The ad libs have to be in the right place. So I actually love the technical side of music and radio and everything else because like it's like people just think that people wonder why it sounds the way it sounds. Somebody has to make it sound like that because
Yeah.
if you just buy equipment like that, just as is, like it's gonna sound like it's not gonna sound like anything. Like
No, not at all.
yeah, like right now, like messing with this mixer, I have to be my own engineer in a sense because I control the volumes on this microphone.
Mm-hmm. Well, you went up.
Exactly. You know why? Because I turned my mic down. I turned one of the left. Yeah, I turned the knob to the left. That's me proving your point about engineering. It's how you sound. Like I turned my mic down and he couldn't hear me for a second, and neither could I. So I have to be my own engineer. Also, I believe like when it comes to producing, I believe that it does take the like it does I think it does take the right producer and the artist to make the artist great. I think it does. It's kind of like I'll set a head coach to quarterback. Like I would say,
it's like a manager to a good tag team.
Yeah.
To be.
Or like Bobby the Brain Heenan to whoever he was managing, or Paul Heyman to whoever he's managing. Like Paul Heyman to Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman to CM Punk, Paul Heyman to Roman Reigns.
Yeah, exactly. And Roman's horrible, and Paul Heyman's working wonders with him right now.
Yeah, because he doesn't have to say much. He doesn't have to say much as far as like promos because people like it sounds like he's bland. Like he has no it sounds like he's just he sounds like aloof. Somebody who's just
he has no flavor.
He don't have any type of feeling when he speaks. He sounds robotic.
No flavor, man. No flavor at all. Like I don't have much flavor myself.
Yeah.
But he's bad. It's like he has no originality either.
Exactly. It's like some people just don't have that personality to be, a bubbly person. Like I consider myself a bubbly person, but am I a bubbly person to WWE standards? Probably not. They're gonna probably give me somebody like Paul Heyman, or not even somebody in the level of Theodore Long when he was managing. They'll put me down with somebody like them. So everything just like you see, all that ties into engineering. Like with football, Belichick and Brady, dynasty. Phil Jackson and the Chicago Bulls, dynasty. Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs, that was a dynasty. So I believe that one couldn't flourish without the other. But where did you grow up at though? You just say you grew up in Jersey, right?
Yeah, I always lived in New Jersey. You know, moved a lot. You know, Union County, Elizabeth, Roselle, Linden, Jersey City, Point Pleasant, North Plainfield, Bricktown, Westfield, Scotch Plains.
How about East Orange?
Some of those places more than once.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Wow, how was that experience? Like, how long? You moved that? How many times did you move?
A lot. I don't know.
Wow, when did have you been moving like that before you was born or what? Like, because that's a lot of times to the point that you don't remember. That's crazy.
We would move. My mom was a single parent for the most part.
Okay.
And whenever rent was high or whenever we had to go,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the way that sometimes things just happen. We moved down the shore. I was involved in an accident, and then from that school I had to go to another school. I moved in with my sister. From that school, she couldn't keep me, so I had to go to Jersey City. So I wound up going to three high schools in one grade, one year. You know what I mean?
Oh wow! I can imagine that experience being like crazy because me and you talked about this before we went on the air. It's like you trying to meet people, but before you build a rapport with them, you have to leave. And it seems like you're doing this all the time. So I can imagine, like, how was that? How was that like for you?
Yeah, like we were talking about, you kind of give up on, you kind of retreat into yourself. And this is where like wrestling, comic books, music, all that stuff came into play too, is because you kind of retreat into yourself, and that in a household that's unstable, you got to find something that is stable. Every Monday, wrestling came on. You know what I mean? Whenever you can go to a toy store, you can pick out some comics or some toys. Like, those are the consistencies that I would look forward to. So, I was moving so much, I didn't care about making friends so much anymore. But I was in front of TV every Monday night. Felt like home.
Same. That's how I felt like watching wrestling too, because I dealt with being bullied, being picked on.
Yeah.
It's like I go outside, I get fucked with. I go home, my younger brother fucks with me. And so it's like the only thing that I had that's stable, like you said, was or something that gave me an escape was wrestling and hip hop music.
Yeah.
Like when did you start? What era did you start being a fan? For me, it was the golden era. For me, it was I'll probably give away my age a little bit. I've been a fan since the early '90s. I was a little kid in the early '90s.
My older brother was a wrestling fan. So I remember watching Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper for the Intercontinental Championship, and Piper beat him, and Bret Hart's face is all bloody. But I was young. I was real young. I didn't really start to really, really get into it and stuff, though, until about like 96, like on my own. I was in, I remember we all went to Survivor Series where The Rock debuted in Madison Square Garden. And I was happy because Bret Hart won.
You was there?
Stone Cold. Huh?
You was there?
Nerdy was in attendance, yeah.
What? Damn, how old was you?
I am 34.
You're 34? So, yeah.
I was in like 3rd grade.
Okay.
Maybe 4th grade.
I was 8 years old when that happened. 8 going on 9.
I was a little older than you.
Yeah. Okay, we was both born in the 80s. I just wanted to make sure so we would know exactly what to bring up, because I talk to a lot of wrestling fans A lot of them don't even know about the Attitude Era like that.
How could you
So
not know?
yeah,
Nonsense.
Nerdy Dirty was at Survivor Series. Tell me about that. How was that experience?
It was cool, man. It was like I said, I wanted Sid to win, and he beat Shawn Michaels, and I wanted Bret Hart, a huge Bret Hart fan. I wanted Bret Hart to win, and he beat Stone Cold. Even though I like Stone Cold, I didn't like him better than Bret Hart. And Survivor Series though was a fun pay-per-view because they still at that time had the Survivor Series style matches. It wasn't just one match at the end of the night or what have you. It wasn't the main event. And it was good. I stayed up late, and that same weekend we got cable, so I got to watch Monday Night Raw. It was amazing.
Awesome. Because my first event was a house show, but my first televised event was a Raw. I went to that 2002. That was the same Raw that Kane made his return to stop the un-Americans for burning the flag in the middle of the ring. I was at that one.
Un-Americans.
I was also at that one when Kane took his mask off for the first time. I was at that one.
Oh, versus RVD.
Yep, in 03. He chokeslammed RVD.
03 is an underrated year.
It was. It really was. A lot of stuff happened in 03. Jonathan Coachman turned heel, which is random as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, my God. Oh man. Oh, so so you got into wrestling. When did you start getting into music? Along the way, like how old were you when you started getting into music?
Well, same thing. My older brother used to always give me CDs like Wu-Tang, ODB, Biggie.
Okay.
I didn't know, I didn't really care for it too much because I was just into wrestling and my action figures and stuff. And then what have you? But then around like 2000, I started really I like DMX and stuff and everything. I had a few CDs, but I really got into it around Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
And then 50 Cent Jr., Jay-Z, it all started coming together. And same thing like Rated R said, I used to write lyrics. I used to write my favorite lyrics down, and then I don't count bars when I rap. I don't know how to count a bar, but I know how to format it. It's the same thing, but I would write their lyrics down, look at the format. Okay, this rhymes with this, every other line, and I would write my own right next to theirs. So it would okay, well that will fill that whole verse up.
Wow. Yeah, I know some people that don't really count their bars. Gene, the one that came to the studio later, he was trying to count bars. He didn't necessarily know how to do it, or I don't know if that's considered a bad thing or a good thing. I guess some people don't like to count it. You feel it's a great thing?
I don't think it really matters. I think when people try to get too technical, they're kind of showing off. It's a standard to know. But I've had artists be like, "Oh, you don't know how to count bars? What's wrong with you?" Oh, and I'm like, "Dude, just tell me when I come in, and I'll feel the rest of the beat out. If I listen to the beat, I can figure out where the hook's gonna be. I can figure out, you know what I'm saying? If you want me to take the first verse, I'll take this until I hear the hook. I'll fill it up. I'll format my verse. I'll do whatever how I want to do it. Just because I don't know how many bars go in the verse, I don't care. You know what I mean? I think it's irrelevant.
I agree. I actually like how you did it, because I think what I like to do is I like to listen to a lot of artists speak about the technical side of it, and they mostly do what you guys did. They'll listen to the beat, let the beat ride, and at one point in the beat they'll know where to put the hook. Honestly, that's exactly why I interview about rappers, not in a hateful way, in a way I wish I could rap, because that all sounds fun to do, fun to break down. It's like you go put on headphones and you're just vibing to it, and you be like, boom. I know where I'm gonna put the hook, and I know how I'm gonna flow with the hook. Like how for hooks, how long does it take you to come up with one? Do you just come up with one out of nowhere, or do you just think of one?
Hooks are my favorite part
Mine's too,
because I'll
actually.
be
As a
driving,
listener, I love it.
yeah, I'll be working, I'll be driving, and that's it. And then I'll get a tune in my head and I'll build off it, and then I'll just be like, okay. In between that, just like because when Raiders sent me the hook, he sent me the bass. The I don't want to give too much away, but
You
and
don't
then
have
the
to.
in betweens were me. I was like, how do I nerdy dirty eyes this right here? So then I did the in betweens. Then I did the, you know what I mean? And then I did the ins and outs or whatever. But hooks are my favorite parts, and a lot of me, 90 90% of, I say maybe like 80% of my music is written with no beat. I find the beats later
Oh wow! So you write them down before you put it on the beat.
because I'm not always accessible to being able to wear headphones or playing music loud or doing whatever. So I'll get I'll write a whole song and then I'll hear a beat and I'll be like, oh, I can put that hook to it. And then or I'll write a song, but I won't tighten it up.
Yeah.
So I'll have the hook and I'll find the beat and then I'll tighten it up to the beat.
Oh, okay. You see, I'm learning new stuff about how people do hooks because I always wanted to know what goes into that. And let me ask you this: as far as rappers, like, who do you think has the best hooks?
50
Like, if you
Cent.
think, I can agree to that one. I like his hooks
50
too.
Cent has hooks. Um, Now Jay-Z's not on the list, but he is one of the best rappers that knows that he doesn't have the best hooks, so he always gets someone else to do his hooks.
I actually noticed that too because I noticed the majority of his songs either have somebody else doing a hook or he'll do something with the beat and use that sample as the hook.
Yeah, Jay,
Or
but he's smart enough to know that that's not a strong point.
yeah, that's an honorable mention because he does have people who produce the best hooks for him, either whether it be
Now,
another artist or the beat.
but see, the weirdest thing is too that he's written awesome hooks. Like next episode, it was unveiled that Jay-Z wrote the whole song, Snoop and Dre's part, hook and everything.
I heard he wrote Still DRE too.
Yeah. So it's like he can write hooks. Maybe he just doesn't see that for his own image. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just weird.
I mean, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Eminem has cool hooks, but he's more like a rapper. I'm trying to think, like who has really good hooks. That's a who the fuck has good hooks? See, the thing was too, Nate Dogg had good hooks.
Oh, I like
Akon
his
had
hook
good
too.
hooks. T-Pain had good hooks. But they were like hook specialists.
Yeah,
So, even Ja Rule had decent hooks.
he did. He definitely did. No matter how much people do hate the dude for whatever reason, maybe they're just unit fanboys, but he had great music up until the time that he started beef with 50 Cent and stuff. But anyway, but for those of you who don't know what hooks are, it's simply the chorus of the song. For those of you who don't know what a hook is, we're referring to the chorus of the song. Every song has like a chorus, no matter what kind of music it is. Whether it's like a Beethoven song, R&B song, the blues, there's a hook on there. Yeah, well, to try to explain why that's so with Jay-Z. I guess some people feel that they can write a hook, but they just don't. They just pour at the execution of the hook for themselves, like you said, like you just said. So I think that's
True,
why.
too.
I think that's why he does that. He doesn't believe that. Like for example, if I didn't believe I couldn't execute one particular thing in whatever I decided to make, I'll have somebody do it, like finish the part that I couldn't finish.
All
So
right, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think to explain it, I think it's just like that. But as
I
far as
think hooks
music,
are best
go ahead. You go ahead.
anyway. No, hooks are best anyway. Is just that's the part. The hook is what's gonna reel you in. So it has to be melodic. It has to be some kind of like singing, in my opinion, for most of the time. But you know who does good hooks too, though? That doesn't do any of that? Swiss Beats.
Oh, I love Swizzy. I think he's my all-time favorite producer because I listened to a lot of his stuff as a kid because I used to listen to a lot of Rough Rider tracks,
Yeah.
and he made the majority of them. Like Drag On's album, Opposite of H2O. That album was dope as hell because of Drag On too.
Right.
He was a lyricist, but Swiss Beats. He produced. I think 100% of that album he produced.
Swiss Beats is he's an awesome producer, and he always sounds like himself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, like there's Drake, but there's so many dudes now. Like there's so many rappers, there's so many podcasters, there's so many engineers and producers. It's kind of like it's just nuts. It really is nuts. I mean, I think Eminem's underrated as a producer, as an engineer.
He
He
is.
did the Running, Tupac and Biggie. He did the whole album for the
He did.
Resurrection. He did the whole
All
album
right.
for Tupac. He did he's produced he's produced for Nas, he's produced for Jay, he's produced for Yellow Wolf, Royce the 5'9", Slaughterhouse. Um, who else, man? He's produced for so many people. And
Yeah.
he's another one where you could tell where it was his beat too. He has like a calling to it.
Yeah. I think all that time that he spent with Dre learning how to produce, it's really helped him.
Yeah.
Cause he be making some beats, and sometimes I can't even tell if it's actually I actually could because I think there's a certain sound that Eminem Beats has that I know that he produced and he made it his own. He like it's just a sound of his that's signature. It's crazy. But Eminem
Eminem
is
will
underrated.
never get.
I believe he's underrated as an artist,
Yeah.
but
He'll never be a producer classic because he blows his production stuff out the water with his rapping.
yeah. Like he will have to do what Kanye West did in reverse, actually. Like, no, Kanye West.
I like Kanye.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say Kanye West. Before I ever heard him rap, no, I heard his production first. So it's like if Eminem wants to be like, I guess, be named as I guess one of the greatest producers, he's gonna just like he will have to quit rapping just to focus on that.
Yeah.
That I believe
would
that
never
stuff takes time.
Yeah, no, he would need a whole nother lifetime as a producer.
I agree.
It wouldn't happen.
He would, because it
So-
takes years.
so,
It takes decades.
No, it does. So, are you into punchlines? Like, do you like
I love-
punchline rappers?
I love punchlines. I love Cassidy is one of my
Okay.
favorite ones. Him and Floyd Banks.
Cassidy Banks. All right, Slaughterhouse, right?
Oh, I love Slaughterhouse. I love that group.
Joe Budden went in as the head of Slaughterhouse. He was in my opinion, he was the star of Slaughterhouse. But at the end of it, he came out being like the weakest link of the group. It's debatable, him or Joel, to me.
Oh, geez.
But Like everyone else went crazy. It's like it boosted everyone up except Joe. He couldn't like keep up. It was weird to me. And I was a huge Joe Budden fan, or I was anyway. You know what I mean?
You was a Joe Budden fan?
Yeah, fan of his music.
Wait, why you're not now? Because he's not making music, or did he do something just be like, I don't want to listen to this fool no more?
Well, it's kind of like, okay, A Boogie, right?
Yeah.
I love his voice and how he makes his music.
Okay.
But his choice of content, I outgrew it. I don't relate to it no more. And that started happening with Joe Budden. Like I outgrew that phase where it was like, and mind you, it was hell. The sticking up for Joe Budden in the early 2000s and all this nonsense, but it was I started to outgrow what he was speaking about, so I kind of just like lost my ear, like I wasn't catching it. You know what I mean?
Honestly speaking, I please don't judge me, but I really didn't listen to much of Joe Budden's like that. Like, so what was his like? Because I know the type of I know the Pump It Up song that came out in 03. I know about that.
Yeah.
But what was he really talking about back then versus now? Like, what changed?
Well, back then when I first heard about him, it was through the mixtapes. Like, you know, I would go to Journal Square in Jersey City or whatever, you know, or Broad Street in Newark, and they'd have all the blanket or the laundry bag full of mixtapes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was living in Jersey City. He's from Jersey City, and he was spitting with Fab and Kane. So I was like, all right, that's cool, man. He's from, you know what I mean? I would listen to it, and it was like that. And back then, it was just Pump It Up Joe Budden. But then he would come through the mixtapes, the mood music. He would show his storytelling abilities. He also always had a weird way of throwing his punchlines out, which I kind of liked.
Yeah.
So then, as he got better and better and better and better, I followed him since 2002. So as he got better and better and better and better, I was like, all right, cool. And he would talk about his relationships and what he's going through and all this stuff. And then, you take what you can, you relate to it. But then he just kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it. It's kind of like I stopped that part. And then, I outgrew it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's kind of like I wasn't in that same point of my life as he still was or whatever at the time. And it was kind of like, I just don't want to listen to it no more. I'm not there. I can't relate to it no more. You know what I mean?
You mean like him having a hard life or something, or?
Because a lot of it was about his relationship.
Oh, about his relationships.
Like dysfunctional relationship type stuff.
Oh, so you wasn't on that wavelength no more, so you just decided not to listen to him.
It was kind of like I just couldn't listen. I couldn't appreciate it.
I understand, because like I think that's what it is with music. Is like people usually will listen to what they relate to. Yeah. Like me, I don't directly relate to anything that Jadakiss or the Lox be saying in their music or 50 Cent, because I'm not a street dude. But
yeah,
I've seen the stuff out my window because I've been living in the Bronx my whole life. So I see all the stuff that they're talking about. So in a way, it's like I can relate to it, but not exactly. I guess I can relate as a bystander in the hood, watching all this stuff transpire and knowing a lot of like people who really would do that shit. So I think that's the part that I can relate to in a way, but not exactly. So I get what you're saying. It's like you're at one point in your life, is like you're not in any dysfunctional situations no more. So why should you listen to that person tell you about his dysfunctions if he's not willing to change some stuff about his life? Like
yeah, kind of.
Yeah. If I could put like a comparison to it, I really can't, but I tried. But it's the same thing with Eminem. A lot of people don't like Eminem post, the drugs, him being sober. Like, why do you think that is? Like, I think actually like both sides. I like the fact that he was doing what he was doing back then, living the fast life, you could say. Then he almost died. He He got sober. Now he's just focused on his life post that. Like, I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't know why people are going that far to be like, oh, man, like Eminem and whatever. I'm like, I don't know. I think it's all the same anyway. Two different people, two different perspectives. You can't expect one person to still rap about the stuff he did in his 20s and he's damn near 50. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I think that people always like I put it simple. People always look to the past and the future. So whatever's right now, they never really don't like. Like they always have a problem with it. They don't appreciate it until I think I heard it from Dr. Dre. It's always greater later, you know. So I think that they grew up listening to Eminem as we did, so that's a part of their life. Like that's embedded in their life. So they always have a bar that might be set. They might not be hardcore fans. They might not. They may have been like singles, you know, like whatever or whatever. So they're always comparing it to that. I just like hearing it because I like hearing that he can still do it. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy he can still do it. He can still come up with clever punchlines. He can still rap fast, slow. He can still cause controversy and destroy Nick Cannon in a verse from Fat Joe. I think that he did that purposely as a favor to Fat Joe, so Fat Joe can just get hella views on his song. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I enjoy Eminem's. Huh?
I didn't even think about that part with the Fat Joe and with wait, what? Wait, what happened with those two though?
Who?
What happened with Nick Cannon and Fat Joe? Was there a conflict with those two? Oh, nothing. Okay, I was
nothing.
like,
I think that Eminem was like, "Look, I got this. You want me to feature on your verse?"
Oh,
I think
I think I know what you mean. You wanted him to start some shit with somebody so they can play his verse can go around the rabbit hole. It makes the media rounds, the music media rounds. Like, you have Double XL magazine talking about the verse, and they're gonna have to listen to that song that Fat goes. Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. Am I going the right?
Same thing with yeah, it's kind of like, all right, I want you to feature. All right, cool. And in Eminem's mind is like, well, I wanted to say this anyway. Fat Joe's about to get a good record. Like he's about to get talked about. Same thing with the Montreal screw job. Bret Hart, Vince McMahon. I believe it's all a work. I believe that they both were in on it the whole time.
You think so? Why do you think so?
Okay.
I just want a different perspective.
Look, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. WrestleMania 10, maybe? I don't remember. But it was the night that Bret Hart won the heavyweight championship. But the first match was him versus Owen Hart. Owen Hart pinned him in a roll-up. Monkey flip, something like that. He got up, and if you watch the end of that clip, YouTube it after we're done, he sits up, and he has a look on his face when Owen beat him. We know Owen was supposed to win, right?
Yeah.
He has that same face when Shawn Michaels beat him.
Ooh.
How you gonna have the same face when the first one was scripted anyway? I think the whole thing was a work.
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe Vince McMahon could keep paying him.
Yeah.
Huh?
You mean a whole shocked look? Like, you screwed me look? That look? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go back and watch it after this, but yeah, I just need clarification. Go ahead.
Also, I first heard this, right? And I'm like, oh man, it didn't make sense. But then it just started making so much sense. Like if Vince McMahon didn't want to honor his contract, couldn't afford to keep paying him, go to WCW, get that money. But it was a whole work to expose the wrestling industry and make it entertainment instead of, real. It's crazy. Do your research. I'm 100% convinced that it was a work from Bret Hart and Vince McMahon the whole time.
I'm not going to even dismiss that because I'll actually consider that. to be true because it's like it's like the whole thing. Like it seems like there's a lot of confusion with that whole thing because why would you have a show and have it's like Bret Hart? Why did he think that he can take that championship to WCW? Because I believe that's what he wanted to do in the first place. Like he wanted to take that championship belt to WCW so he can throw it, so he can burn it in the middle of the ring or some shit. And Vince McMahon didn't want him. I think that's what they want us to think, though.
Well, I think I know. Well, what Brett wanted to do is he wanted to win the match and drop it the next night, like vacate it.
Okay, on Raw the next night. Okay,
but McMahon was he was worried. He was too concerned. He didn't want to do it.
Wow. Dude, so basically Vince thought that he was going to take that belt WCW, right?
Yeah, basically he could have.
Yeah,
but I think the whole thing was a work. I think it was one of the best works in wrestling history.
Yeah, it's still talked about for this day, and it happened in '97.
Yeah, Survivor Series '97, Canada.
Yep,
yeah,
Montreal.
Man,
and I've never even been to Montreal, but I do want to go there one day. I've been to Toronto and I've been to Vancouver. Never been to Montreal.
How was that?
It's a lot of nice people down there. Canada is a very like the people there are nice. It's less crowded. Toronto is just like New York, but less crowded and less hostility. Like I didn't go down there and feel like I was gonna get stabbed walking at night. I didn't get that feeling.
Good.
Same thing when we going to Vancouver because I went to Vancouver when me and my boy visited Seattle, and Vancouver is in the Pacific Northwest. It's literally like we have to take a bus there, so we did that. We went there for a few hours. We had to go through customs just for them to ask us stupid questions like, "So, what brings you to Canada?" Going sightseeing. Motherfucker looked at me like I had 13 eyes on my forehead. Boy, you sightseeing? Yeah. Well, we can't sightsee no more. Oh my god! The look that he gave me the look of like from hell. Like it's like Cyclops has looked at me with his laser and just lasered me to death. That's how I felt. That's how hard he was looking at me when I said that. He asked me, I'm like sightseeing. What do you do for work? I work at a store. Doing what? Loss prevention. Oh, so you capture people? Not exactly. Like, why do they ask me these questions? Like, I don't have any dope in my baggage. I just want to sightsee. This is just my camera. That's all.
Yeah, sir. Let me go.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of traveling, like, how many places have you traveled? Like, like promoting yourself and selling your merchandise.
Merchandise, I just mail it out.
You mail, okay.
It's just in Jersey. Like if I can't get to you within like 20, 30 minutes, I just mail it out. Other than that, I'll be like, all right, look, I'll meet you here, whatever. Yeah. And that's what people like I know. If I don't know you and it's like I'll just mail it out anyway. But yeah, man, it's trying to spread more now, but my whole key thing is repeat buyers and repeat supporters. Because I have one person that like every week or every other week, or you get 4 or 5 people with residual purchases, and it's almost like, like a subscription, where it's like you can almost just like count on them. You know what I mean? And then it just grows from there. So I saw social proof. And then once they start wearing it, and their people start, okay, now you got 2-3 people wearing it. Okay, now it just starts to spread.
Yeah, and how many like as far as like as far as people you that bought their merchandise, where are these people from? Like, was they from other countries around the United States or what?
I have a shirt out in Brazil.
Ooh, ooh,
I have
wee.
someone wanted one in Singapore,
Mm.
but never got to them. I've shipped them out to England. That one got lost actually though. They never received it. It's been like 2 years now, or either maybe they did. I don't know.
Like,
But usually she's been in Jersey. A lot of people in Union, New Jersey, Elizabeth, Linden. Um, some down the shore more. It's spread out. You know what I mean? And the more people are just like seeing it, is the more they're just starting to reach out to me.
yes. Like I'm gonna look to buy your merchandise soon because like when I start working, I'm definitely
I'll
gonna
hook you
buy
up.
some new stuff. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna buy your stuff because I travel a lot, so you probably see me wearing some of your merchandise in other towns that I'll be in. Because I've gone to a lot of places. I've gone to damn Chicago, Seattle, um, Tampa, Jacksonville. Where else? L.A., Anaheim, San Francisco,
Yeah, I ain't travel like that.
Arizona. Yeah, traveling is I always encourage people to travel
Yeah.
because that's one thing you could do to promote yourself too. Just a word of advice, like you could just even if you have to take a road trip somewhere like to DC or Baltimore or somewhere, you could go over there and people will see you, or you just have some like you go over there with your camera, have somebody take a picture of you, or you traveling with somebody, and you post it on social media. That looks good too because they're gonna be like, okay, this person's mobile as hell.
Yeah.
This person be everywhere.
I know. I know. Well, all right. I used to be 1/3 of a group called Vanilla Mongoose
Oh
with
wow.
artist formerly known as Direct Link and DJ Rico Banks, right?
Yeah.
So I know like Banks was from Mississippi, so he had a
Mhm.
lot of people out there. Like I made a lot of connections, Oklahoma City and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then with Link, he was down in Florida, and so I was in Jersey. So we almost had like like a triangle offense type thing. So it was cool because like I know people. Like I've done some like California and stuff like that. Like the shirts go out, but mainly it's in Jersey, and it was cool because I had a lot of plays. You can see your stats on Spotify and everything. A lot of it's always in places like Mississippi, like Texas, like Florida, things like that. The most places, the least amount of plays I get is New Jersey and New York
Okay.
because they're into whatever.
Drill
What do
music.
they listen to? They listen to like whatever's bang bang shoot 'em up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The shit that blows.
That's what it is right now. So,
Hmm.
but even like I'm saying, my merchandise, it what's what I'm looking for. My merchandise moves way more than my music does at the moment. People buy my merchandise and they'll never listen to a song. They'll never share a song of mine, but they'll post a video of my hoodie on.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I think sometimes that's how it works. Cause your main point could be like, you want to sell your music, but the other thing works for you more than your music. I think that's how it is with a lot of stuff that people do. And it's not even planned that way most of the time. Like okay, when I came into doing this, the strongest thing that I was doing was my photography. So over the years, it's switched. Now I'm doing this more than I do my photography. Before I used to do my photography more than I did this.
Mm.
So one's got to work. One has to work more than the other. But you can and later on you can always you do implement your music into your brand anyway. So it like you
Yeah.
just have you like. But I think there are better ways that you can probably promote your music. I think you're doing a great job. But I think it's
I appreciate
always better, mhm. I think it's always better ways to implement your music. Like making yourself like traveling more would be one thing. That's how you establish your brand because people won't be like, okay. And then you just like have you performed in front of people?
I have not performed in front of a live audience. I've been more of a recording artist, not than a performing artist.
Right. Is it because you have anxiety going in front of people or just something that you haven't thought about doing yet?
I've thought about it. I've been given it opportunities. It was just weird. Things never lined up correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Things never lined up correctly to where it was like, okay, it made sense. Like, I can sell a hoodie. I can make money off the hoodies, but you want me to pay you $50 to perform at your open mic.
Wow.
I'd rather not go to your open mic and see the brand Nerdy Derdy. I can get you with the clothing and then edify it with the music. And because the engineer was dope and the beats are dope, it sounds good, and my lyrics are good. Or I can hit you with the music and then edify it with the clothing. So you can keep your 15 minutes on your open mic, and I'm gonna keep my money, and I'm gonna sell my merchandise, and you're gonna see all the people on my page wearing it, and then you're gonna get someone else to pay you your money for your open mic spot. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like that aggravates me. Like I'm someone that's unknown, and you want me to get exposure to your fan base. You want me to pay for it. That's fine. I'd rather take that $50, invest it into Google marketing, target my audience, and do it that way. You know what I mean?
I think that's the best. I think that method is the best way because I've noticed a lot of these people that runs open mics. It's like they want to charge people for that open mic. I thought an open mic was something that you just sign up and go. I didn't know you have to pay.
An open mic, sometimes they'll guys it under a showcase.
Okay.
And that's you want to be a part of a showcase, huh?
Is that why they charge people, or that's something that's normally done with open mics?
That's kind of like when you an artist wants to do a mixtape and charge you $300 to $500 for a slot in your mixtape. It's just like a hustle. You know what I mean? That's all it is. And I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't falling for it because I don't value it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like these CD rappers. I call them CD boys. Like if you ever been to New York, you go to Times Square, you bump into one of those guys. You're gonna be like, "You like hip hop?" And then they want to try to force a donation out of you. Like, no. Talking about like they want to give you something, but they want to force you to pay them. Like for all that, just sell your CD. In fact, I told one guy, I'm like, "Do you have SoundCloud?" He said, "No."
Yeah.
You have YouTube? No. I'm like, okay, I got a little bit of advice for you. Take that CD, go to the nearest trash can, and just drop it in there. Because nobody listens to CDs no more. And I just walked away. I was drunk. I told him that because I was drunk. They say the drunk mind speaks the mind, and I just tell the truth. And I got another story. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I got another story. It'll be quick though. This happened in 2019, last year. I'm walking, my boy in the corner and stuff on 34th Street, Manhattan. I walk past these dudes. I already know what they're asking me for, so I walk right by them. And this is back when I dyed my hair red, burgundy and stuff. I walked past him. He's like, "Yo, bro, you like hip hop?" Ignored him. Walked away. As soon as I turned the corner, with your gay ass. Like, wait a minute. I was gay. So now I'm gay because I ignored you. What if I was gay walking down the street? With that, like you just asked the gay man to listen to your music. So now you want to point out the fact that I'm gay? No, I'm not gay or anything like that. That's for the people listening. In case you're wondering, I'm not.
Anything wrong with that?
Yeah, it's not. No, not yeah. Not that there's anything wrong being gay, but I'm just saying, like, logically speaking, why would you call somebody gay because they didn't want to buy your little CD? Wasn't that person gay when they walked up to you? So you just asked the gay person to buy your CD, but now you want to call that person what they is because they didn't want to. These people is idiots. Just go, like, just get with the times. That's how I know they're not doing it. They're not doing it for them. They don't have music. Their music sucks. In fact, it's probably audio of them, like, recording on on the iPhone. So probably some shit like that. It's probably just a CD full of sounds like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was just saying, like there's a comparison to even just handing music out, like CDs, is spamming in real life. Like if you've ever sent someone your like music or a link without them asking or without any pretext or like whatever, it's the equivalent of being in the street and hey, here's my song, here's my CD. You know what I mean? It's just spamming in real life. That's all it is.
That's an accurate comparison, because I actually get people that comes on my comment section on Instagram, and they'll put a link to their stuff. I delete that shit quick. Like, don't come on. I don't know you. Don't come in my comment section putting your stuff on my comment section. I don't know you. You don't support me. You don't support me at all. You don't share any of my stuff. So don't come in my inbox sending me shit. Because when I put my stuff out there, you don't share. So don't come to my inbox and dropping your garbage in my inbox. Talk about play this on your show. I ain't playing shit on my show, bro. Your shit is ass. But I digress.
There was all right. An issue that I feel I have with myself is that I tend to downplay things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So someone will brag about something that I would like, I did that or I'm doing that, and I won't even bring it up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I have like this problem with being like a bragger or a boaster. Like I don't do it. And I think it has to do with, me just internalizing a lot of things. Just being like a homebody or whatever. I don't know, but
yeah,
it bothers me. Like I share a lot of people's stuff. I don't even have to know you to share your stuff. It only takes one button. Like that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll do this, and then I'll be like, I'll look for people's support that I thought were going to support me in the beginning, or I still think you're going to support me in certain ways. And they'll be like, yeah, man, I just put you on. I'm like, what are you talking about? I put you in my story for 24 hours. Or, like, I did that. Like, they're like, and they expect me to be like, oh, thank you so much. It's like, I appreciate it, but like, that's not that big. Like, it's weird, but certain people you just expect more out of. And that's just, that's me for expecting things from other people. But it's kind of like, dude, like, I wouldn't have bragged about that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have, oh, this person followed me. Let me screenshot it and edit it to where this person followed me. You know what I mean?
Oh, like you mean bragging about superficial stuff like that? Oh, I can't. That aggravates me too. Like, all right, I love boxing, and I comment on Paul Malignaggi's one of his posts. I guess he posted a video of an interview he was doing an interview with somebody, and he was driving on a highway, and he barely had his hands on the wheel, and he has been going like 60, 70 miles per hour while he's doing this interview, and he's doing it with no problem. So I'm home high as shit, and I'm like, wait a minute. Is this dude driving by himself? Like, is the car driving by himself? Driving by itself, I should say. So I commented, and he replies back. He's like, LOL, nah, man. but I wouldn't trust myself to drive in a car to get in a car that drives by itself. Now, I was surprised and I was kind of excited when I saw that reply because I wasn't expecting it. Because I'm really like, I'll only comment on their stuff on like, the blue checks. I call them the blue checks. Only comment on blue check things when it's something that's fascinating and I'm like, the hell is this? So I make like when I comment, it's mostly me asking a question, not me, saying giving them a compliment or anything like that because they get a lot of those. So most of the stuff that I comment on their stuff is question mark, like me asking them a question. So he replied, I could have screenshotted that and I could have put it in my stories, but that made no sense for me to do because I'm at a place where I don't even do that. I don't have to do that. It means nothing. Like I post my stuff in my stories on Instagram. Cassidy has seen some of my stuff. Guess what I didn't do? Yeah, Cassidy looks at everybody's stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna screenshot it and be like, "Oh, Cassidy was looking at my stuff," or I'll screenshot it and be like, "Cassidy, holla at me." No, I'm sure if he wanted to holler at you, you know what he would have done? He would have just replied back to you, be like, "Yo, that shit is fire. Let's link."
Yeah,
he didn't do
exactly.
it. He didn't do it. So that shows that he didn't. He was just looking. He was just looking in the discover section on Instagram because that's where most of them be at. They'll try to sort out new people to listen to or to get them to feature. So I get exactly what you're saying. Like people brag about stuff like that that doesn't really mean anything in the end. Like, grow up. Like grow up.
There's one person that I bragged about. And he followed me on Twitter.
Okay.
And I think he went on like a whole following spree at one moment. And it was John Cena.
Oh wow.
That was cool. That made my whole day when he did that. But I think he followed like a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like ordinary people that like retweeted his tweet or something. So I noticed I was like, you know what I'm saying? It was great. That was good. But he's like superstar, man.
Yeah. I actually like that he did that. Because I noticed a lot of these guys that's like, either in sports or any type of notable person that has a blue check on anything. I noticed that they don't really follow their fans like that. They just followed a bunch of celebrities and what I always see them do is I always see them interacting with other celebs that comments on their stuff, but they don't really respond back to the fans that hit them up. Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that from this perspective. I mean, I'm looking at it from like, wait a minute. So you have time to, reply back to the notable people, but not the ordinary people that hit you up. I mean,
yeah,
the same time.
Yeah,
it's the same time frame.
The only thing that I can compare it to is when I get follows, and I think they're cool, and I think they're gonna build a rapport or whatnot, but they're just trying to spam me, or they're just trying to follow to unfollow.
Oh my God!
Personally,
I hate that. I get a lot of those on Instagram, and it's mostly from either people who post podcasts or trying to promote whatever garbage they're trying to. Not that it's garbage, but I call it garbage because I ain't want it in the first place, so it's garbage. So they'll try to hit me up asking, just to try to get me to watch their stuff, and they don't share none of my stuff. Or they're trying to sell me something, or they just want me to like their stuff, and then they're gonna unfollow me so I could be that fan that likes the stuff. No.
Yeah.
Once I notice you do that, because I recognize people. And after the last person that did that, I figured the game out. It's funny that you brought that up because I figured out that people really do that. I didn't think that. I never paid attention like that. I'm like, wait, people actually do this? Then I noticed, because I'm paying attention to my Instagram more. I'm keeping track of the people that follow me. Anybody who I don't know personally, I'm not gonna follow them. I guess I can see why a lot of the people don't follow back fans. I think I can see why. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, it's because it's like it's like I'm sitting here and that's happened to me. I have people, especially these female models, they'll follow you, just unfollow you later after you like a few of her posts.
Yeah.
So,
of course.
So now anybody who I haven't like met personally, I'm not gonna follow you. I'm not gonna follow you back because I know what you're doing. Now, if I see that you're genuine,
100%.
Yeah, if I see that you're genuine, then I'll follow you back. You see, me and you met, so it made sense for me to follow you. And you know, me and you actually talked on Instagram, so that's how come you're on the show.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, first off, not first off, we're deep in this now, but I appreciate you even having me on this show. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to reach out to me. You didn't have to, you know what I mean? None of that is something you had to do. It's something that you went out of your way to do.
Yes.
And that's why I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I try to.
Know, that's okay.
Go ahead. Me cut you off.
Good.
Oh yeah. Okay. I was gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say yeah. Like I try to have like people like different people on here, like people that's gonna be themselves. I don't care if you're not religious, you are religious. I don't care. As long as you're a genuine person that's just trying to get by without trying to deceive people, you're welcome to come on the show. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate having you on too. So yeah, like me and you spoke. That's how me and you connected. And I'm a very timid person too. Like it's really hard. I'm battling. I seek out therapy. I've been doing it for almost 2 years, just about. I think later on this month will be 2 years after the Thanksgiving weekend. So that's how long I've been doing therapy, and it's helped me a lot. Because before I even did this, I would have never been able to approach you about you coming on here. I would have met Rated. A lot of things would have happened without me like doing this.
You gotta go for it.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go for it.
Yep.
Now I'm happy that you actually acknowledged and you took the time to what's it called? Just find an outlet. You know what I'm saying? Find an outlet for yourself and not be proud. You know what I mean? And just, work through it.
Yeah. I think that's the problem. I think everybody is trying to find an outlet, or they just feel like they can't talk to anybody. They feel like they want to be a loner. I mean, I like alone. I like my alone time. Like me and Rady was talking about before. He feel like he thought that he was he was like sometimes he could be, well, the paraphrase, he thought that him wanted to spend time by himself. He thought that he was being an asshole, but I'm like, you're not being an asshole. Everybody needs their alone time, rather to recalibrate or whatever. Like we need time with our families. We need times with we have times we need to spend with our kids. Then you have work. So it's like a lot of stuff that goes on in the day that you just need a break from everybody so you can be creative. Like earlier this year, I was in a relationship earlier this year. It was crazy. I was doing a lot for her, and her child, and she stayed with me for a few months. She lived in Elizabeth. That's how come I told you I've been there a few times this year. She ended up living with me right before the lockdown happened. She moved in here, and there was she displayed a lot of toxic behaviors, and I had to leave her alone. And after, I didn't want to do it, but for my own mental health, I had to.
Yeah.
So after he left, I was able to build the studio, which was a goal of mine anyway. But with the whole Corona thing, it happened sooner than I expected. I ended up getting my driver's license later on. I actually got it back in September. So I made a lot of like stuff to better myself. So sometimes you have to be alone to think about everything that you need to think about. Like you can't
of course.
You
You
got
gotta
it.
take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
You gotta take care of yourself first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta take care of yourself first. You have to, the only time that I'd rather be, all right, if you listen to my music, most of it's about females, my kids, or, things along that line, things that I actually do and I can relate to. So you have to find some time out. And see, the thing is with me, I feel the only time I really can be without my family and not feel their absence so much is when I'm creating. Like when I'm in the studio and so like that. But even then, they're usually my subject.
Yeah.
That I'm creating about, or I'm using to create. They're where I'm drawing from.
Right.
But that's the whole thing. Like you need an outlet, and anytime anyone brings up therapy, I automatically think of Tony Soprano.
Tony Soprano? Oh yeah, because he did. Because he talks to a therapist every week in the episode.
Yeah, every week. But like I said, nothing wrong with that, man. Like I think everybody needs some type of therapy. Everybody needs some type of therapy.
Yeah. In fact, it reminds me of something that happened in school when I was in high school. I think people feel that let me start over again. I feel that people don't want to talk about their problems because they think that the person across from them wouldn't relate to whatever they're going through. I think that's one of the things, because it was one dude that I know. His name was Julius. Shout out to him. I'm gonna tell this story because me and him. I remember he brought up something a few years ago in my comment section on Facebook, where he brought up. This is what he brought up. Something was going on with him, and I know something was going on with him. Now, me being a person that I am, I always try to help. I always want to help my friends, because at that time I'd be going through a fair share of my bad shit too, and in order for me to get by, I like to help other people. I like to listen to other people. Some might say it's a gift, some might say it's a curse, but hey, that's what I like to do to make people feel. So there was a lot of times that he didn't want to tell me what's going on, and the way he will tell me is like from a position of I don't want to tell you because you don't understand, or I don't relate. You don't relate. So looking back at it now, I'm like, how do you figure that? And that's basically an assumption. Like, what do you do when you assume? You make an ass out of both you and me. So how do you know that I don't relate to what you're going through? I don't know if I'll relate to you or not, but I'm asking you to open that door so we can find out. But you assume that because whatever reason, whether it be the way I carry myself or the way I look, I don't know. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you can't just assume that the next person hasn't gone through what you have been through because of the way they carry themselves. Because that's the only thing I can actually go on, is because you can't go on anything else. Because you know why? Because you never opened up that door to have a conversation. You just assumed. You just assumed that the person didn't go through the same thing you was going through. So you just basically, you go over there with that. I only you don't relate to what I'm going through. I can't talk to you. You don't understand. Oh, you don't understand. Like, come on. I think that's what it's all about. I think people just need to try to listen to other people. Not that you're obligated to, of course, but I'm saying it would be nice because holding it in is not going to help you anyway. It's going to make it worse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been surprised myself sometimes. I've been bullied, jumped, beat up, moved, but then I would talk about talk to these things with other people, come to find out, they share the same experiences. I think a lot of times you look at someone and you look where they're from, or you look just how they look, their build or whatever, and you'd be like, nah, but I've also met people who were on the opposite side of what I was doing. Like I'm friends with people who were bullies, and I was the one getting bullied, and we're perfectly good friends now as adults. And we can actually talk about it from different perspectives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think communication is so important in everything. Communication is so important in everything because without the communication, it's easy to build prejudice that will come between you.
Thank you. I agree. That's the problem. It does create a divide. It does create prejudice because nobody wants to understand the other person because they just look at the person without actually trying to find out what their background is, and they just want to assume. Because like the touch on what you said about the people that you knew were bullies. I'm just going to this is what I know. I believe this in the bottom of my heart. I believe that most bullies were mistreated by their parents.
Yeah, something was wrong with them. Something was wrong with going on.
Yeah. So they'll take out the anger of being mistreated by their parents. They'll go to school and find the person that they have the upper hand on, and they'll try to make that person's life shit because it makes them feel better. Because that's the only thing that's gonna get them by is to fuck with somebody else. Then when they go home, their parents is gonna mess with them some more. So that's gonna piss you off. You're gonna go to school and you're gonna end up doing the same thing to your victim. Because I used to get bullied a lot. I used to get bullied. I didn't have to get the gab that I do now, obviously. I used to cry a lot. Like that's what I used to do because I didn't have the gifted gab. So no matter what I say, it didn't affect them. It just bounced off them like bullets. Like bullets off of Superman. That's how I was.
Yeah. It was weird with me.
Mm-hmm.
It was always the worst of the bully with me. Like I was fat. I liked wrestling, comic books, and had glasses, right? So, and it wasn't just any bully. It was always the bulliest of the bullies, like the main event. You know what I'm talking about? Like I would have some friends, and they'd be big kids. They'd be like, and they'd be like, "Oh, he's coming after you. Oh man, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, I'm gonna run. What do you mean? Shit.
We should admit it though. That's exactly what I'll do. Like if I couldn't fight the person, the dude outweighed me, and he can just basically throw me in the trash, then I'm gone. I'm gonna book 90.
But also because of my personality, as I got older too, I always attracted bigger people, and I would always keep them closer to me.
Okay.
So I'm talking about like big dudes, like dudes you know what I'm saying? And that's a weird duality to me because I wasn't raised any different than anyone else in the street was raised for the most part. I wasn't suburbia, and I was a single, living with my mom, a part of one of 6 kids, and we always grew up in the poorer sides of town, especially as I got older. You know what I'm saying? I didn't live in a nice house or stuff like that. So it was like I'm good at blending in, and I'm good at making friends, Like,
Yeah.
even though I didn't, I always had an ability to, like you said, I would talk and I would relate. And I would relate and I would find some common ground. And okay, we have this common ground now. And it's kind of like wrestling. I would build a stable around me. So it's kind of like, okay, well, you used to bully me, but now like I got these people with me, and you're not gonna do it right now because you don't want everything. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And
I
that's
can
just kind
understand
of
that.
how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of
That
how.
just became.
But you go. I keep on cutting you off. My bad.
That's right. It's just my formula because it would always be so many of them against me. Because, like I said, it would be main event. So that one bully would come with like 3 other bullies and then like 6 other people that were with them.
Oh my God, I hate that. Like, but my question is, why did they go after you specifically? Because the reason they went after me, like bullies, is because they used to talk shit, and I used to respond back. That's usually what got me my ass whipped. I used to talk back. Like, you're not gonna talk to me like I'm your bitch. Like, I'm not afraid of you. Like, I'd rather you put me on my ass than you try to punk me around.
Easy target. Most of the time I was with myself, so I was, and like when I'm saying this, it was a span like of my whole, I'd say from 6th grade to like throughout high school. So I was usually by myself, or I was with people who were also like easy targets.
Right.
So we target you, they're gonna run, and you're just an easy target. And it's something that it was sustainable because okay, well he's gonna come back to school and he's still gonna be easy target.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You be chasing them, and then as I got older, but
No, I ain't saying nothing. I was listening.
Oh no, so it was sustainable and it was all that, and you know I looked the part of a nerd, and I don't know what it was that they saw in me that didn't resonate well with them. But whatever it was a recurring thing, and then eventually, but I'm glad it made me what I am now, because now I know how to handle a bully.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know how to handle a bully, and I know how to show them that I'm bigger than you think I am. And I can show them in a reflection of people, sheer numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's like I've so much from my experience, I know how to back a bully down easy. They don't even know that what's about to happen to them. And then, like, it's almost fun now.
Yes. It's fun for me too, because honestly, it's fun for me too, because like now when it comes to like people who do that, like bullies and stuff, I mean, in my 30s, I know how to embarrass one. What I'll do is I'll beat them with logic and wit, like when I speak, because I know there's a lot of them be saying some illogical bullshit. Like, I had this one dude come on my page, right? Because that's like, this is before I started doing this. This is back when I was just doing audio. So I believe I posted one of my links, and I basically was saying that Jesse Smollett is still a liar because I did a few episodes on that. So this one dude, forgot. I think his name is. I forgot his name. I went to high school with him. This dude gonna come on my page, tell me to shut the F up. And I'm like, what? So I responded back. And then he went, like, I noticed with a lot of people like that, they'll say some shit like, you're talking like you were 6'4" in high school. Bro, what the hell are you talking about 6'4" in high school? You're the one that came on my page to tell me to shut up. So when I respond back to you, you want to try to fight me? No. Honestly speaking, I'm not going to fight the dude. Not in my 30s. he come at me with spoke, I'm picking up a brick and I'm smacking fire out of him with it. That's what I want to do. And I don't care who's listening to the tape. I mean exactly what I say. The dude is bigger than me. You see, he want to bring up my height because I'm short. I'm 5'3". The dude is probably like 5'7", give or take. And he's a bigger dude because he used to play football. He blew. That's why he didn't make it to the NFL or college, because he blew, obviously. He blows. So he gonna come at me on my page telling me to shut the fuck up. But when I checked him on it, he really thought that I was supposed to sit there and not say nothing. That's what he thought. You see, a lot of people like that, they peaked in high school because they still think that you're whatever you was in high school. I mean, I was the same person, probably a little more immature, but I was a person that never looked for trouble, and I'd have stayed to myself. So that's always been my stigma. Well, I wouldn't even say that's a stigma. That's always been a part of me. I always stood to myself. I'm an introverted person. So I didn't start shit with anybody. He decided to come on my page and started shit. So I gave him the business. I shitted on him. He looks like Franklin Turtle. That's what he looks like. And you peaked in high school. So that's that. That's why I like to do with bullies like that. I like the shit on them. Because a lot of them come from emotional arguments anyway. They're emotional. Like they're gonna come to your stuff talking about, they'll bring up something that happened in high school. I graduated high school 12 years ago. Bring up something about me that you know about me right now.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't. So when they know they can't do it, they want to run out of stuff to say. So they want to start personally attack you. He called me retarded or something like that. And I'm like, wow. Is that all you got? People call me that all the time. It's old. Bring up new material. It's like once they start really throwing personal shots, that's when you know you got them. And it's to the point that I laugh because what you're saying is not really affecting me. You're just making your own self look stupid in the end because you're the one that's talking shit. I'm not talking shit. I'm on my stuff, promoting my stuff on my page, promoting my audio, and you're gonna tell me to shut up. So I checked you. I told him if he didn't like it, I told him to blow. I told him to blow me and block me. That's what I told him.
Yeah, he probably doesn't like that you're even progressing. Like me, I still don't consider myself in my prime. You know what I mean? I still have a lot more to do, a lot more I have not accomplished that I want to accomplish. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I respect that I've accomplished, and I'm thankful for everything I've accomplished so far. So, people like that, when they peaked, it's because they also made a mental decision, an affirmation that they peaked already, and it's all downhill now. There's nothing you can do for them. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta let them be, and just look. There's not enough room for winners and losers on the same sidewalk. It's not gonna happen.
You're right about that. Yeah. Otherwise, if that's the case, then nobody will progress because you can't stay in the same place. Like the pedestal, you got like the second in the Olympics, you got the second place, third place, and first place. The first place is on the top step. The other ones is on the sides. So one person can only get up there. So I understand. I understand what you're saying with that one. And that's what I did. All I did was say my piece. I didn't go back and forth with him. I said what I had to say, and he kept on talking shit. So I kept on, joking on him, and after a while he stopped commenting.
Yeah, that's basically it. And you see, people like that don't realize that it's your page.
Yeah.
So it's people who follow you because they like your content. And he's actually going against the current. It's not high school no more. There are more people on your side than against you.
Yeah. Because honestly speaking, He's lucky that nobody else saw that exchange. Because if my cousin would have seen that exchange, she would have fried him, and it would have been some shit. A lot of people would have gathered in that thread, and they would have fried him because when you look at it, it's like this man is doing like, okay, it's just like like promoting your music, and you got some hater or somebody that wants to talk shit. Like nobody, but you follow me though. Like if you didn't like my stuff, then don't follow me. Like why are you here?
Yeah.
I don't really care about your music.
If
you don't, then why are you here? Has to be a reason why
That's
you're
it,
here.
man. You don't care about my music. That's cool, man. Just buy a hoodie. Or you don't want a hoodie? Damn, man. Like,
Yeah.
What are you doing with your life?
Exactly. But let me play. I'm gonna play one of your tracks. Tell me about this song, "Love You the Same." Before I play it.
All right, "Love You the Same," produced by DJ Rico Banks. Shout out to Banks. He's from Mississippi. I think he's in Texas right now. He just sent me some beats too, but we'll see what happens with that. There was this track. I had the hook, then I linked it to the beat, and like that was it. The verses I filled in once I already had the hook and the beat together. It came together pretty simple, pretty organic, and I'm comparing my wife. Do you love me the same? And I'm kind of comparing the different things she loves to myself.
Okay. Awesome. Let me play this track right quick for the people listening and the people that's watching right now. And you're listening to the William Green Experience right here on YouTube. And I'm speaking with Nerdy Derdy. My bad.
It's all right.
All right. Whoops. Make me do this crap. Yeah, you see this? I didn't expect this to happen.
So I mean, it's live. What can you do?
Yep, live. Oh my God.
Sorry, man. Actually, that cover was made by a buddy of mine, a good artist, Diego. He drew that up for me.
She says I love you and I love you and I love you the same. She says I love you and I love you and I love you the same. She says I love you and I love you and I love you the same. She says I love you, I love you like. She says I love you and I love you the same. She says I love you and I love you and I love you the same. She says I love you and I love you the same. She says I love you like. You love me when your head down. How about your clothes nice? Even more than Bahama Mama, sipping cup, crushed ice. Love me more than shiny rocks, chocolate bars, ravioli, days off, summer weather, coupon and cold up, homie, no runner up and no nominee. So mellow, only one me. Don't say it like a B&E, and I'm up early, I'm too deep. I'm like DJ with some Lomo. You cap that, no robo. Copy that, no photo. Put that horse on you like polo. Love is a two-way. Hand on her booty, she loving that bouquet. Never weak. Yeah, you like, hey, she put that OCD to you. She says, I love you, I love you, and I love you the same. She says, I love you, and I love you, and I love you the same. She says, I love you, and I love you, and
What happened? You paused it? It's nerdy. Free Pop, Free PB, Full Time Boss Records. What's up, Dolo, Rated R, and DJ Rico Banks, Matt Cody, the producer, MC, the architect. You got who else? What's up, G, PPG, Pop Up Girls? What's up, Jeff Schmurda? Everybody from all my supporters. Everybody that buys merch, hoodies, hats, tank tops, sweaters. You know what it is, man. Everyone who's had me on their shows. What's up, Super? What's up to Will right now? He's a dope host. You got everything that's going on, man. It's nerdy. I don't know, man. Maybe Will ran into the fridge real quick, man. Nerdy, Derdy. What's up, Will?
That was the reason why I reached out to you too, because I heard the hook of that song. Because you was playing it like on you was on Instagram. I think I heard it in your stories. You was playing it. I'm like, oh, this is fire. That's why I went to listen to some more of your stuff. But I'm glad I got to play that one. I love it. I love it. Let me stop my camera. You can hear me now, right? I can't hear you, bro.
What?
Okay, now I can hear you though. Yeah.
Oh, for that song? Oh yeah, the one I posted.
Yeah, you posted on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, I love the hook. That like this is the first time I heard it in its entirety. I'm like, song is dope. Like you sound like it's like you sound like a vet. Like you sound like you've been rapping since the early '90s.
That's one of my favorites because it's a real, it's me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I love the track, bro. I love the track.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I heard. Yeah, I always heard you. You said that was one of your favorite tracks, right? Yeah, that song. That track. Oh, no problem, bro. That track is awesome. Next time I get in the car, I'm bumping it.
It's not that long, but it's been a while. And like I said, it's just being with the right people you learn from, and you know. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. Like I said, it's produced by DJ Rico Banks, and yeah, and it was yeah. Like I said, Banks was on the beat. I went out to Brooklyn to the Wave Cave, Matt Cody on the boot, and
That's awesome, bro. I like that song is dope. Like you have
I appreciate it,
the
man. Yeah, like it, share it, do whatever you want with it, listen to it. Appreciate it, man. That's all it's there for. You know what I mean?
no problem. Yeah, I believe you do have potential. All y'all do is just show you do show yourself in your gear, but you should start performing in front of people. I believe you should perform that song.
I think we got a delay going on.
Hold on. Oh my god, hold on. Back. Can you hear me now? You can hear me now? No delay? You can hear me now, right? Crap. You can hear me? Hmm. Okay, now this stuff is getting weird. I don't know if you can hear me, but I believe that you should perform this song live. Try to leave and come back. And maybe your connection. You have a back. We're live on a Wearing Green experience. I'm on with Nerdy Dirty. Um, his thing dipped off, so he has to come back on. I think there's something wrong with his connection, but it happens. It's live. It's live TV. I mean, live on YouTube. This ain't exactly TV, but may as well be. Yeah, I don't know if you got my text, but yeah, that's what we was going. I was going to wrap this up anyway, because it actually went longer than what I expected. Like I didn't expect it to go this long. You see, this is why I like doing these shows because I don't control how far we go. It's up to them.
Yeah, yeah.
Usually, I can feel
I
like
feel like there's
usually,
still so much.
huh?
Now, I feel like there's still so much we didn't touch on yet, but time runs
Oh,
fast, man. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, you're always welcome to come back on anyway. So we could talk like we touched on a lot today. So I appreciate you coming on, like like telling me about yourself and your music. I was trying to tell you that track right there. If you ever perform in front of people, let that be your first track, or let it be the finale track
All right.
because that song it just gave me good vibes just listening to it, like the beat, then you're like your energy on it. So it was an overall dope track. But before we go, would you like to say anything to the people
Yeah,
listening,
man.
like to your fans and what have you?
Say that again.
Yeah, so is there anything you'd like to say to your people before you go? Before you wrap this up.
Yeah, no, just I appreciate everybody. Whoever sees this, NERDYDY is up there on Instagram, Twitter. You know what I mean? Link in my bio, order in DMs. I appreciate everyone for the support and everyone that stands behind, that believes in me. Trust me, I'm a peak.
Oh yes. And if you want to follow him on Instagram and Instagram, Facebook, Nerdy Derdy. Instagram and Twitter at Nerdy Derdy. And on Facebook, Nerdy Derdy. You've been listening to the Wearing Ring Experience right here on YouTube. You have a good night. And go out and vote. If you didn't, don't bitch about what's gonna happen next.